Hi everybody, I'm Bob Anderson of Bob Anderson Art. And I'm back today to begin to show you how I'm going to put the trees on these dark mountains. Last time that we spoke on the last video, I was explaining to you that these trees here and this front mountain here and the closest mountain here were very dark. You cannot see light through them. So I painted the background in the corresponding grid of squares on here. I painted this really dark area, which is the base of the mountain, in like a black, brown, and deep green. And I kind of just modeled it, kind of put the black and the brown and the green on and modeled it and did it here, all the way up here, because it's going to be the background for the trees that are in front. So you see here, all of these trees, they're all full of light greens and yellow greens and dark greens in the background. That will go on top of this, in front of this mountain. But there is no light showing through this bottom part. That's why I did this dark base color here, okay? And that's why I did the dark base up here, because it's the same thing. You can't see through. There's no light showing through the mountain. So I make it a nice base of dark green and black and brown. Okay, now I'm going to begin to paint on the trees that are on the mountains. So I'm going to take a green chromium oxide green, and mix it with a little bluish green and maybe a little black, because we're going to start with the darker colors of the trees first. And we're just going to start, I'm just going to start putting them on here in the area that corresponds, which is right here. So if you notice right here, the trees actually go above and have the clouds behind them. That's why I did not base out this high. I left this so that the trees can go up here, and these you will see the light and the clouds coming through them. Okay? So now I'm putting the deep green on first and kind of doing it in the same movement and the same look of these trees up here and down here as well. And this will be the darker green that shows through on the mountains. So I'm looking at the photograph or any image that you're going to be reproducing or creating, and I'm putting this green on this really dark base. So I'm just kind of putting the little green, the dark green spots and splashes, lines and boughs of color, because this tree, and I wrap around the edge, because remember we're doing a gallery wrap, so that the image wraps around the canvas. So people don't have to frame it if they don't want to. But like I said, frames are always great if you can afford them. Okay. So just continuing on with these trees here. And I'm starting down here and they go right up into the sky. So I'm painting these on, putting little thin lines of color, thicker lines of green, thinner lines, just like the boughs on the pine trees are. Then I'm going back down here and starting here and working back up. And I keep working up here, because see how these trees go right up almost to the top of the painting in this area. But you can see through these trees here. And this is the first layer of the trees. And now I'm going to want to put a little lighter green on, because these boughs have really lighter and lighter greens on top of them, which give the definition of the tree and the volume and the circumference of the tree. You can feel the fullness of the tree through all the shades and all the light colors of greens. So now we're going in with a lighter green and just popping it in. Put a little more yellow in that and take it right up. And then we have like, see this light area here? There's a huge light area here. We're going to put that in. And like, as I said, painting is always layers and layers of color and detail. So if you don't like something you did underneath, you can always layer more detail and color that suits it better on top. Don't ever have to worry. Everything can be repaired. Okay. So now I see there's another, see this is like one big bright green line right here of the trees. I'm going to continue that down. And then there's another one right here flowing right out of it, which is from another tree. I can't even tell. They're all blending together. But I want to reproduce this image as best I can for this particular project. Okay. And so there's a third one here, coming right out of the top of that. It's almost like they look like a green waterfall of green, but it's actually the trees. It's just the way they look in the photo. So there we go. So now I'm going to put a little blue in that. A little blue in that green. And I'm going to tuck it in around these colors here. Because usually everything is a multitude of colors. Even though you may look at it and think it all looks green, it's actually got all kinds of little colors that are reflecting off of the environment onto those greens. So we just follow up here. Oh, we got a lot more to go up here. These actually go a lot higher here than I painted them initially here. But we just keep layering the colors on, layering the different paint and brush strokes and colors on top. This is a big one here. And this one, some of the boughs have like kind of a downward slope to them, so I'm going to put that in there. And then this one back here is a lot bluer. This one's further back and it's drenched more in the blue of the sky, so it's bluer. So I'm going to add even more blue to that one because that one's further back. And we're going to start tucking this one right in here. I think I need to put a little white on that because it's a little further back, so that atmosphere, there's a little more atmosphere between it, so it's got a little fainter, a little softer color. It's bluer and it's a little softer. So I'm going to put a little bit of white in there, just a tiny bit to lighten that color. So say it's a little softer, a little bluer, because it's further back behind these trees here, which are in front of it. Okay. Now this one, this has got a darker spot coming up here. There's some shadow in there. On that deep green shadow in there. So this is right here. According to my grid, this color would be coming up right in here. So this is a deeper, blacker kind of, darker shadowing that is wrapping around this tree in the shadow side of it. Okay. And now I'm going to put some more of it here because it kind of dances around this tree a little bit. So you can see that this is beginning to take on the appearance of the image that's taking on here. I still got some more detail to put in, but you can see that it's starting to represent this upper corner, this upper quadrant on the grid, okay? So that's it for right now. I'll be back. Okay, talk to you later. Bye.